Most people believe betrayal announces itself. It doesn't. It waits, it smiles, and it happens in places you think are safe. On Christmas Day in Houston, Texas, billionaire Ethan Walker came home early. No driver, no security detail, no warning. He wanted it that way. After months of non-stop work, he thought surprising his wife would be a rare, normal moment in an abnormal life. He even rehearsed the smile he'd give her when she opened the door. But the moment Ethan stepped inside his mansion, something felt off. The lights were on, Christmas decorations were perfectly arranged, the house was quiet in a way that didn't feel peaceful. It felt staged. Before Ethan could take another step, his housemaid Renee Brooks rushed towards him. No greeting, no explanation. She grabbed him by the arm, pressed a gloved hand over his mouth, and pulled him into a narrow storage closet near the entrance. Ethan panicked. He tried to speak. Renee leaned in and whispered, shaking, "Please stay quiet, just trust me." Through a thin crack in the door, Ethan saw the living room. On the couch sat his wife, Vanessa. Next to her was his younger brother, Caleb. They were close, too close. Their posture wasn't tense or cautious. It was relaxed, familiar, like this wasn't new. Vanessa laughed softly and rested her hand on Caleb's knee. Ethan's stomach dropped. Vanessa stood up and walked into the kitchen. She reached for a glass already poured, Ethan's usual drink. From her pocket, she pulled out a small vial. No hesitation, no second thoughts. She poured the contents in, stirred it gently, and set the glass back down. That was the moment. Ethan stopped doubting himself. For months, something had been wrong. Headaches, dizziness, memory gaps, moments where entire conversations disappeared. Doctors said stress, and her wife, Vanessa, said burnout. Caleb offered to help temporarily with the business decisions. Ethan blamed himself. He shouldn't have. Renee spoke quietly behind him. She told Ethan that she had noticed things over time. She cleaned the glasses. She saw unfamiliar pills. She overheard phone calls late at night. Vanessa wasn't helping Ethan recover. She was slowly poisoning him. She was weakening him. Small doses, carefully timed, enough to make him look unstable. The plan was simple and cold. Make Ethan seem unreliable, shift control of assets, transfer authority to Caleb. Once everything was signed and locked in, Ethan would be removed permanently. An accident, a medical emergency, something clean. Ethan watched from the closet as Vanessa and Caleb talked openly. No fear, no guilt. They discussed lawyers, deadlines, what would happen after everything was finalized. They spoke as if Ethan was already gone. The house Ethan built no longer belonged to him. Renee had waited for proof. Christmas night was when she finally had it. She had recordings, photos, saved messages, copies of prescriptions that weren't prescribed to Ethan at all. The woman everyone ignored had been quietly collecting evidence while pretending not to exist. Ethan wanted to confront them. He wanted to scream. Renee stopped him. She told him that the security outside wasn't there to protect him. It was there to control the situation. Cameras were looped, calls were monitored. If Ethan stepped into that room, he wouldn't walk out. Instead, they moved carefully. Renee guided Ethan through service corridors and blind spots in the house, places staff used, places cameras didn't fully cover. Ethan realized something uncomfortable. The people with the least power often know the most. As the night went on, tension grew. Vanessa checked her phone repeatedly. Caleb paced. Someone outside made a call. They sensed something had shifted. Time was running out. Ethan had to make a decision. He could just disappear quietly and let the story be written without him, or he could just survive long enough to expose everything. So just before dawn, Renee helped Ethan leave through a service exit. No alarms, no confrontation. Within hours, Ethan contracted lawyers and authorities. The narrative collapsed fast. Vanessa's image shattered. Caleb's exes vanished. The story of the unstable billionaire didn't survive once the recordings, medical reports, and messages surfaced. Ethan didn't survive because of money. He survived because someone he barely noticed chose loyalty over fear. This wasn't just a story about betrayal, it was about awareness, about how power blinds people, about how silence can be deadly. Because sometimes the real danger isn't outside your house, it's inside your house. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to subscribe and press the bell